Hey everyone, Shabby Gamer here, and welcome back to the WWE 2K15 Universe Mode, and this, which is our next episode of Combat Zone Wrestling's Hardcore Television. So let's have a quick look at the card I've got set for you this evening. I'm going to start things off with Super Crazy taking on Son of Havoc. Then we're going to see Tajiri taking on Solomon Crowe, one half of the Tag Team Champions. Then we'll see the other half of the Tag Team Champions, Drake Younger, taking on Tommy Dreamer. We will see Chris Hero taking on Corey Graves. And then, well, our tag team division has been completely thrown open in this universe mode in Combat Zone Wrestling the last few weeks. But the game has decided to put together a #1 contenders match for the tag team championships between Rob Van Dam and Sabu and Bam Bam Bigelow and Diamond Dallas Page. So without further ado, let's get straight into our first match. And as I said, our first match will be Super Crazy taking on Son of Havoc. And here we go. Not seeing much of Son of Havoc in this universe mode, to tell the truth. I think he debuted at the Best of the Best pay-per-view a few weeks back. And he's getting an opportunity here against one of the guys that's in pretty good form, Super Crazy. And I must admit, he's actually one of my favourite guys in this universe mode. He's been fantastic, and I still just remember him from the moonsault he hit off the top rope on Tajiri. If I remember, I'll try to remember, I will link that episode in the description below. But yeah, it was Super Crazy versus Tajiri, and Super Crazy put Tajiri on the announce table, came back up into the ring, onto the turnbuckle, and hit a moonsault. It was just immense. And ever since then, I have really actually liked Super Crazy in this universe mode. But added to that, he's been obviously a fantastic tag team with Tajiri over the last few weeks, picked up some great victories, and this entire tag team division is completely wide open here in Combat Zone Wrestling. I think the winners of the match this evening between RVD and Sabu and the Jersey Triad, Bam Bam Bigelow and DDP, I think they will be getting a tag team shot maybe next week. And then, of course, we have a finale Combat Zone Wrestling episode coming up in about 4 weeks' time. So, yeah, I'm thinking maybe we should do maybe a tag team tournament between all the teams in this Combat Zone Wrestling roster to see who should go forward to the finale episode and face off against the tag team champions. Of course, we'll do that in a few weeks' time after the tag team championship match next week, of course, at least. So keep an eye out on that channel for this one. Keep an eye on this channel for that one, should I say? Just trying to rewind myself there. So my phone's just buzzing away with some random crap. Some PPI firms got hold of my number over the last few days and they've just bombarded me constantly. It does my head in. Dropkick there by Son of Havoc, and Son of Havoc is a wrestler I do like on this, but his beard just doesn't look. It's just not a very good core, I think. I'm wondering whether instead of Son of Havoc next year, I should just get Matt Cross as he should be. I'm going to actually put that on my list now because I do like. I really like Son of Havoc, and to tell the truth, Lucha Underground is the first time I saw Matt Cross wrestle as Son of Havoc. So yeah, I really rate him. I think he's a fantastic wrestler, and I think maybe if I can get a proper core, maybe without the mask, or even with the mask, it'd be fine. But good old M-Dog. Get arm dragged there by Super Crazy, and of course Super Crazy will definitely be involved in next year's game. I'm going to have him as part of the Attitude Era roster, and as part of that, he can be part of a tag team with the Mexicals, maybe. He can be part of the Hardcore division, obviously showing his ECW roots. And, of course, part of the Cruiserweight division that we'll be bringing back as well. So I'm really looking forward to Attitude Era next year. I think it's going to be one of my favourite rosters to do. It's got a massive, massive roster. We're looking at about 60-odd people on the Attitude Era roster. As there's a shoulder breaker there by Son of Havoc on Super Crazy. That could be all. 1, 2. No, only a 2 count. Both guys back up to their feet. Yeah, and as I was saying, I'm really looking forward to the Attitude Era roster. We're going to have a full hardcore division, a full cruiserweight division, a women's division as well. Going to bring back the likes of Lita and Trish, and that's what I'm struggling with, actually. You guys might be able to help me. I'm trying to think of some of the best women wrestlers that I can use in the Attitude Era roster. I've got down, of course, Stephanie McMahon Helmsley is on the game as a character anyway, so she'll be part of it. I've also got on my list to bring back Lita and to bring back Trish. That's a 3, which is not really enough for women. I think the minimum for a women's division should probably be 5. I think on the Attitude Era roster. So I've got 3 there. I've also got on my list Victoria and Molly Holly, but if there's anyone you think I'm missing, then again, please let me know in the comment section below, because I'm really struggling with the women's division in the Attitude Era. I suppose I was half tempted to maybe drop Layla back, but it's a bit too... I don't think it would work really well, to tell the truth. So, yeah, if there's anyone you can think of... As Super Crazy taps out here to the submission by Son of Havoc. And Son of Havoc victorious here. He's not had a lot of opportunities in this universe mode, but he's come against one of the most informed guys, Super Crazy, and he's picked up the victory. So well done to Matt Cross. Here's that shoulder breaker. This is what probably did the damage that eventually made Super Crazy tap out. To the DDT on the apron there by Son of Havoc on Super Crazy. And again, the damage was done there. And then as soon as Havoc locks in the submission, it's not the best submission in the world, don't get me wrong, but it's a very painful one. And with the damage already done by Super Crazy, Son of Havoc had no... Sorry, with the damage already done by Son of Havoc, Super Crazy had no choice but to tap out there. Great win here for Son of Havoc. Maybe he's hitting form at just the right time. Coming towards our finale episode in 4 weeks' time. And of course, Son of Havoc and Jimmy Havoc will be part of the tag team tournament as well. Bane of Havoc, which is a reference to World of Warcraft if you if you play that. I think it's a Warlock move as Bane of Havoc, I believe. Spreads your moves around, I believe. I might be wrong. And our next match here this evening will be Tajiri taking on one half of the tag team champions, Solomon Crowe. And here we go. And of course, this tag team division, as I mentioned earlier, is completely wide open now. It's the main talking point of Combat Zone Wrestling, and I've just realised I've missed something off. I have missed something off, so I'm also announcing right here, right now, that we're going to have a 6th match here this evening. After the tag team #1 contendership match will be Dean Ambrose versus Caprice Coleman for the Combat Zone Wrestling Heavyweight Championship. And of course, that might be a bit random to you guys that are watching this as the first video, but Caprice Coleman earned this opportunity by winning the Best of the Best tournament a few weeks back. I promised it to Caprice Coleman, and to tell the truth, I completely forgot when I started doing this card. So we're going to have a 6th match this evening, and that will be the championship match. And I'm going to have to try and add the annotations on at the beginning of the video, maybe just to let people know there's a championship match coming up. But as I was saying, yeah, with the tag team division, the big talking point of the Combat Zone Wrestling Universe mode, Tajiri and Super Crazy have been going fantastically well of recent times, picking up victories over the Dudley Boys and the Nasty Boys as well, I believe. So they've done really, really well. And a win here for Tajiri in one-on-one competition against one half of the tag team champions again would really, really strengthen their cause in this universe mode for getting that championship match. Of course, only 4 weeks left now until the finale episode. We know that either RVD and Sabu or Jersey Triad, DDP and Bam Bam Bigelow will be getting a tag team championship shot next week. Depends on who wins our... well, one half of our main event this evening. But who will go on to face the tag team champions at our big finale episode? Which, ooh, you know what? You know what? You know what? You know what? This could happen. Sorry, I've just got things going through my mind now of what we could do, and I'm thinking for a finale Combat Zone Wrestling episode, we should do Cage of Death, which is a proper Combat Zone Wrestling event. It's one that I did have planned in for later on in the year. I had it planned in for WrestleMania month, I think, as their big event. But I think we could do it. I'm pretty sure we could do it at our main, at our next finale episode. And the main event would be essentially Dean Ambrose defending his Combat Zone Wrestling... What? It could be Caprice Coleman after tonight, we don't know yet. But whoever the Combat Zone Wrestling champion is will be defending that championship in a 6-man Hell in a Cell match. And we'll try and discover over the next few weeks who's going to be involved in that. I've got a couple of names in my mind right away. Tajiri there with that Michinoku driver, holds Crowe's leg for the pin. But Crowe kicks out. Yeah, I've not planned this out very well, have I? I've just been... I think next year I'll try and plan a bit better, trying to suss out what I'm going to do, but because we haven't got long left in this universe mode, I'm just trying to fit as much in as I possibly can, trying to give you the best episodes I possibly can, and I think we have to do Cage of Death. We have to do Cage of Death, really, really do. So, yeah, 6-man Hell in a Cell. Dean Ambrose will be involved no matter what, whether he loses the championship tonight to Caprice Coleman or he wins, he will still be involved in that match. We'll have to decide who else. I'm thinking Rhino, I'm thinking Busick, I'm thinking Chris Hero, and also out of the box, I'm thinking Adam Cole. But like I say, we will discuss that in the weeks to come. Tajiri again with another head scissors takedown, grabs the legs, and again, Crowe manages to kick out after the 2 count. Shoulder block by Solomon Crowe. And an elbow drop as well. Crowe brings Tajiri back up to his feet. Went for that running discus forearm, but misses it. Tajiri now around the back of Crowe. Great dragon suplex with a pin again. Could this be all? No, again, Solomon Crowe has enough to kick out, and now Tajiri with the kicks across the chest of Solomon Crowe. Continue the assault on our big one to the side of the head, and that could be all again. 1, 2, and 3 it is. Tajiri picks up the victory over one half of the tag team champions here, Solomon Crowe. Great win for Tajiri. And he is definitely making his case for himself and Super Crazy to be getting a tag team championship match in the near future. Of course, as I mentioned earlier, they're going to have to earn that now in that #1 contenders tournament. Oh, I've just knocked loads of money over. Sorry for that loud noise, which was right next to the microphone. Very professional there of me. I've got a stack of pound coins on my desk. I knocked them all over. But yeah, there was a 3 count by Tajiri from the big kick to the side of the head. And now Tajiri is in a great position here. Himself and Super Crazy. Super Crazy didn't do too well in the last match against Son of Havoc. But Tajiri and Super Crazy will be going into this #1 contenders tournament now with a little bit of momentum behind them on the side of Tajiri. But we've seen over the last few weeks when these two guys team up together, they are a force to be reckoned with. And I think that will continue on towards our big finale, Cage of Death pay-per-view. And our next match here this evening is the other half of the Combat Zone Wrestling Tag Team Champions, Drake Younger, taking on Tommy Dreamer. And here we go. Drake will be itching to pick up a victory here this evening, and it's good of Drake to be here because, of course, he will be travelling across to Japan this evening as he is going to defend his Global Force Wrestling Junior Heavyweight Championship tomorrow in what looks to be a fantastic match. I can give you a little bit of detail. Now I have got it down as a fatal 4-way elimination match. Against who? I think you're going to have to find out by tuning in to Global Force Wrestling's G1 Climax finale episode tomorrow, which of course is Sunday. If you're watching this later than Sunday, then go and watch it now if you want. If you want to check that out, of course, you can go to the description below, and there will be a link to the Global Force Wrestling playlist. And again, if I remember, I will link the G1 Climax finale in the description below. I need to write these down now because there's two videos I promised to link in. So I'll do that. I've never tried the annotations before, to tell the truth. I probably should work out how to do that, and then I could just link it above the screen. I'm actually pointing the screen, you can't see me, but I can link it there. So I'm linking Super Crazy Moonsault, which actually sounds like I'm just describing it, doesn't it? And G1 Climax Night Zeben. Oh, I've actually wrote Zeben. Night 7 Finale. And that is going to be a great night, that one. I'm not going to give you any of the results as of yet, because if you guys want to go over and watch it, you can do. But that has been a 7-day pay-per-view. It has been a group stage. We've had 4 groups of 4 guys, each wrestling each other once. The guy with the most victories goes through to a semi-final on night number 7, the finale. And then, of course, the two semi-final winners go on to face each other in the big final that evening. The winner will be guaranteed a championship shot at our finale episode of Global Force Wrestling as well. Of course, we're also going to see... Actually, I'm not going to tell you that, but I'll tell you what the groups were, just in case you're interested. Group 1 was Kazuchika Okada, Rey Mysterio Jr., Michael Elgin, and CM Punk. Group 2 was Kota Ibushi, Phoenix, AJ Styles, and Sami Zayn. Group 3 was Shinsuke Nakamura, Alberto El Patron, Ricochet, and Daniel Bryan. And Group 4 was Hiroshi Tanahashi, Zack Sabre Jr., Brian Cage, and Samoa Joe. So as you can tell by that, there were some absolute incredible matches. It has been a fantastic, fantastic tournament, and I really would suggest giving it a watch. I think it's one of the best tournaments I've put out so far, and probably one of the a few of the best episodes we've put out so far as well. And there are extra matches on those cards as well, and on a couple of the evenings, of course, we have to have buffer matches because some of the groups finished with equal amounts of people, and yeah, it was some real shockers in there as well. Some things you would not expect to happen. But of course, it's not over yet. We do have the finale tomorrow night. Or if you're watching this, of course, later than Sunday, then of course go and watch it now. Well, watch it after this video at least. Because I need as much viewing time as I can possibly get. Dreamer now has Drake up. Drives him down in a pile driver, and Drake won't want to lose here. He needs to keep building momentum going forward to that G1 Climax Festival tomorrow. But Dreamer has Drake up on the shoulders. Death Valley driver. But Drake is very close to the ropes. It's going to take Dreamer a few seconds to pull him away. He does. It looks like there's blood as well. I think Drake's been busted open. 1, 2. Drake kicks out. And of course, like I said, he needs this victory. He needs to go into his big championship defense tomorrow night with the momentum in his side. The last thing he wants is to have to defend his championship at a fatal 4-way elimination match with a loss the night before. Drake, that great sort of side Michinoku driver, but Dreamer's back up to his feet, and Drake doesn't know what he needs to do to keep Dreamer down. Dreamer with a duo of clotheslines. And now a face buster as well. Dreamer with a pin. 1, 2, and 3, and that's it. Drake Younger with a loss here this evening, and that is not good for Drake Younger. He is going to struggle with his momentum. I think that's the second or third match he's lost in a row. He was absolutely unbeatable in this universe mode, but all of a sudden the last few weeks his form has dipped and he just can't seem to pick up a victory. Of course, he is the current double champion here in the universe mode, holding the Global Force Wrestling Junior Heavyweight Championship and the Combat Zone Wrestling Tag Team Championship. And he could lose both of those by the end of next week. That if he continues this form. Of course, Solomon Crowe, his tag team partner, also lost earlier on against Tajiri. So it's not looking good for that tag team at all at the moment. We're going to have to tune in next week to see who gets the opportunity. Well, we'll know by the end of tonight who gets the opportunity against them. But we'll have to see next week whether Drake and Sammy can actually successfully defend those tag team championships against either RVD and Sabu or Jersey Triad. What a great win here, though, for Tommy Dreamer, rebuilding some of his momentum. Of course, Dreamer was originally in a tag team with Terry Funk, but turned on him very early on in this universe mode. So this victory now is solely to boost his singles career, and maybe he could be involved in the Cage of Death. Who knows? And our next match here this evening will be Chris Hero taking on Corey Graves. And here we go. And talking of that Cage of Death, I will confirm that Chris Hero will definitely be involved in that. Of course, I brought him over from Ring of Honor, as suggested by Jay Freeman. I think it would be a great... oh, my phone's going off again. I think it would be a great... It was a great idea, actually, bringing Chris Hero across. Chris Hero is a guy that's worked Combat Zone Wrestling before. And, yeah, it's great to see him back in Combat Zone Wrestling. He's a guy that can work all the rosters, really. He can work Global Force Wrestling. He can work Ring of Honor. And now, of course, working CZW for these last few weeks as well. He's going to get an opportunity at Cage of Death. And I think I may have to be involved in that Cage of Death match myself. Because I know the game is not very good at these Hell in a Cell matches, at actually trying to use its environment. So if I'm involved, maybe I can be the one that breaks through the cage wall, and we can get some entertainment that way then, I'm hoping. But yeah, let me know in the comment section below who you think should be involved in that cage of death. Of course, 6-man Hell in a Cell, the Combat Zone Wrestling Champion will be one of them, and we will know for definite who that will be later on this evening. Will it still be Dean Ambrose, or will it be Caprice Coleman? I'm thinking definitely Chris Hero, and I'm thinking also Adam Cole as well. Adam Cole, of course, started his career in Combat Zone Wrestling. I'm sure he was trained by DJ Hyde, the owner of Combat Zone Wrestling. So I think it'd be great to bring him back as well for that big match. So that leaves us with 3 open spaces. Of course, we have the likes of Busick, Rhino, Ricochet, RVD, Sabu, Sandman, Tommy Dreamer, Terry Funk, Cactus Jack. The list of names are endless, and of course you can use guys of other rosters. Well, if it makes sense, I'm not gonna obviously have. I'm trying to think of someone now that would be stupid, or like The Rock or something in the Combat Zone Wrestling 6-man Elimination Chamber match. That Elimination Hell in a Cell match. So, like I say, if you've got any suggestions, drop them in the comment section below, and not just for this match as well. Of course, we will have the Ring of Honor. We'll have the Combat Zone Wrestling Wired Championship defended as well. Of course, that was recently won by Taz, and we'll have to line that match up. And of course, the Tag Team Championships, we will know, will be the number 1 contender will be determined in a knockout tournament in a few weeks' time. Probably, I'm thinking 2 weeks' time. We've got Night of Champions next week, or this week coming up, and I think I've already got something planned in for the. Yes, on Night of Champions, I think this Saturday we're doing Ring of Honor's. We're doing Ring of Honor's Television Championship number 1 contender tournament. So that'll be next week, and then probably the week after when we do the finale for the Retro roster, which is going to be our Starrcade pay-per-view. Then we will do our Combat Zone Wrestling number 1 contenders tournament for the Tag Team Championship. And I'm looking forward to that. As I said, the Tag Team Championship here is completely wide open at the moment. All the tag teams are beating each other. Nobody's really taken the forefront and made themselves the number 1 contenders. So that'd be great to see that. So I'm going to write that on my list again now. Week 4 of the Ring of Honor. See, we're there with a pin only for well, it's a rope break. TV title number 1 Contorn. Right, I wrote that down now so I don't forget it. And I think I may have just missed something there as Hero pins Graves and picks up the 3 count. And trust me to turn my head and start writing down my piece of paper as Chris Hero picks up the victory. I'm going to assume it may have been the elbow to the back of the head. Maybe that's his one of his preferred finishing maneuvers he likes to go for. There was a Frankensteiner there by Corey Graves. And I may have been right. There it is. The big elbow to the back of the head. Then turns Corey Graves over for the 3 count. And Chris Hero continues his winning start here in Combat Zone Wrestling. And now a handshake there between these two. Corey Graves showing respect as well. Chris Hero showing respect as well. Both these guys show mutual respect for each other. And that's great to see after what's been a fantastic match here between these two. And now it's time for one half of our big main event here this evening as RVD and Sabu take on the Jersey Triad, Bam Bam Bigelow and Diamond Dallas Page in a tag team number 1 contenders match. You see here, Bam Bam and Diamond Dallas Page really looking up for this one. And here we go, RVD and Bam Bam to start us off in the ring. Remember, as I've said, this is just one half of our big main event here this evening. We will also see Dean Ambrose defend his... We'll see Dean Ambrose turn into Arnold Schwarzenegger. No, we'll see Dean Ambrose defend his Combat Zone Wrestling World Heavyweight Championship against the best of the best winner, Caprice Coleman. And as soon as that match is over, we will know who will be involved in that main event at our big finale Cage of Death episode in 3 or 4 weeks' time. Will it be Dean? Well, Dean Ambrose will be involved in that Cage of Death no matter what. But will Caprice Coleman be involved? We'll have to find out. Monkey flip there by RVD. Catches Bam Bam in the headlock, and I'm ambivalent about this whole situation at the moment. I'm looking forward to 2K16 coming out, but we've done a lot of work in this universe mode now, and it seems sad that it's all going to come to an end over the next few weeks. But I suppose when one door shuts, another one opens, and we will be starting our 2K16 universe mode, and hopefully that's going to be 10 times better than what this one's been. We're going to have some better AI, some better graphics, some bigger rosters, and hopefully some more freedom as well. That's the one thing that we really need. If we can get a bit more freedom in this universe mode, I think we can really make it into something special. I think, unfortunately, RVD is one of the guys that is not going to be on next year's game. Unless he's going to be... I've got a feeling he could be downloadable content. I really have. But great coast-to-coast there by RVD. We know that Bam Bam Bigelow and Diamond Dallas Page have both definitely been confirmed, which is great. They're going to be in the Attitude Era roster next year. Again, Diamond Dallas Page is a fantastic Attitude wrestler. He can fight for the Intercontinental, European Championships. At a scrape, maybe the World Championship. And that's an absolute scrape. He can also be involved, obviously, in the tag team division alongside Bam Bam Bigelow. And, of course, Bam Bam's got the Hardcore Championship as well as the tag team titles as well. So, like I say, I'm just trying to get as many varied people in them rosters as possible. And I have mentioned before as well, I think this has been something that I suggested and Jay said it was a good idea as well, was I'm going to split the World Championships back up for both the current day roster and the Attitude Era as well. So we both have a World Heavyweight Championship and a WWE Championship as well. So we'll have two big title matches at every single pay-per-view. And I think that's better because there's going to be a lot of top-name stars on both of the rosters. So it's great to be able to get everyone really involved in the title picture, because we've just won championship. We found this year, with just one championship, it can become difficult to try and get everybody involved that we all want to see. The likes of The Rock, we've been playing this Attitude Era roster now for a good few months now, and The Rock, I think, it's the first time he's actually going to get a championship shot this month. So it's like I say, if we have two championship belts, then it's going to make it a bit more easier to try and get everybody involved. And one of the things I'm really hoping that's going to help us alongside that is that we get extra rivalry slots on 2K16. I know at the moment we get 3 rivalry slots, which is, in my mind, not really enough. We get 7 matches at a pay-per-view, and I like to have every single match have a reason. So having more of the having more rivalry slots would be perfect. Diamond Dallas Page hits the diamond cutter, and RVD taken off the apron by Bam Bam Bigelow. Only a 1 count. Diamond Dallas Page had to bring Sabu back into the middle of the ring. And, of course, the majority of the damage done so far in this match has been to RVD. So, the diamond cutter out of nowhere wasn't enough to defeat Sabu. Sabu with a pin now, only a 1 count. And, of course, while I'm talking about our next year's game, both RVD and Sabu will also be involved in the Attitude Era roster. Of course, they could be a tag team. You've got Intercontinental Championship, Hardcore Championship. So, yeah, they can all be involved in all of that. And that's, again, just some more strength in the roster. Also got the likes of Rhino, the Sandman, Tommy Dreamer, Raven, Eddie Guerrero, Rey Mysterio, Dean Malenko, Juvi Guerrera, Psychosis, Tajiri, Super Crazy, Taz, Al Snow, the Hardy Boys, the Dudley Boys. Shane Douglas was suggested. I can't remember who suggested Shane Douglas now. But if that was you, thank you very much. But I've got that on my list to put into next year's game as well. So we're really going to have a huge Attitude Era roster next year, and I'm really looking forward to that. And I mainly talk about that here because obviously Combat Zone Wrestling won't be a roster next year on my game. Combat Zone Wrestling is unfortunately going to be the one that disappears so that NXT can exist. But we are still going to keep the majority of the wrestlers. They're just going to be spread around into the other companies, of course. Dean Ambrose will be going back to his current day roster spot. Who else we got? RVD and Sabu, like I said, all 4 of these guys are going to Attitude Era, as well as a lot of the rosters going to Attitude Era. There'll be a few disappearing off into Ring of Honor and Global Force, like Ricochet, for example. Biff Busick, at the moment, I've got him down as Global Force Wrestling. However, I've got a feeling by the time the game comes out, Biff Busick will be NXT. Pin here by Sabu. 1, 2. Bam Bam breaks it up with that big headbutt. DDP now friends Sabu into the corner. As RVD and Bam Bam still fighting in the ring, and referee's lost all control of this one now. RVD trying to help Sabu regain some momentum by taking RVD out of it, and Sabu follows up there with that big drop kick in the corner. And as I said, remember, this is only one half of our big double main event here this evening. 1, 2, and 3, and that's it. RVD and Sabu pick up the victory. They are the #1 contenders. They will face off against Drake Younger and Sami Callihan next week. And Bam Bam Bigelow is just too slow across the ring. He's a big lad, and he was just too slow across the ring to break up that pin. And here's the assisted coast to coast there by RVD and Sabu. Beautiful move. Great tilt-a-whirl sidewalk slam there by DDP. And there you see 1, 2, and Bam Bam Bigelow just too slow across the ring to try and break that pinfall up. And here come... God, this game glitches out major, doesn't it? I'm going to leave that in. That's supposed to be Solomon Crowe and Drake Younger with the championship belt. However, that is Solomon Crowe and Victor. Let's just pretend... Just put your hand over the right-hand side of your screen and pretend that's Drake Younger, because that makes more sense. But Drake Younger and Solomon Crowe attacking the tag team champions here after the match. And we know that this match will happen next week now. RVD and Sabu take on Solomon Crowe and Drake Younger for the tag team championships. And here is the other half of our main event here this evening as Dean Ambrose defends his Combat Zone Wrestling Heavyweight Championship against Caprice Coleman. We are already underway, and I've missed the first few seconds there. Sorry, normally the game stops halfway before it starts, and you have to select momentum and that. So I disappeared off for a pee, hoping that when I got back it'd be sat there. But obviously it's not. I've missed the first few seconds. I hope nothing good's happened. And of course, this is, as I already mentioned, Caprice Coleman's big opportunity. He won the Best of the Best tournament about 4 weeks ago, and now he's finally getting his opportunity at the Combat Zone Wrestling Heavyweight Champion, Dean Ambrose. And of course we know no matter what happens here this evening, Dean Ambrose will be going on to main event that big finale Cage of Death pay-per-view. But Caprice Coleman, can he join him? He needs a victory here this evening to guarantee it. Of course that Cage of Death is going to be a 6-man Hell in a Cell match. And we know that Dean Ambrose and Chris Hero will definitely be involved. And I'm thinking Adam Cole as well. So that's 3 guys definitely in this Cage of Death. Should Coleman win, he'll be the 4th. And that just leaves us with 2 open spaces left. Headlock here by Coleman now. Belly to belly slam on Dean Ambrose. Ambrose back up to his feet and Coleman swinging with a right. Now twisting the arm of Ambrose, but Ambrose slaps the dropkick away of Coleman. Big spine buster by Ambrose. Not quite sure what happened there. I think Coleman just disappeared out of existence, then flipped back in somewhere else. Coleman now tripping Ambrose. And this is a huge match for Caprice Coleman. It's his first champion. Is it his first championship match? I think he may have had a tag team championship match in Ring of Honor maybe in the past. But this is his first singles championship match in this universe mode. And it's a hell of a championship to go for as well. It's the heavyweight championship over in Combat Zone Wrestling. But obviously he earned the opportunity. And no one can take that away from him. It was a difficult competition to win the Best of the Best. Of course, it was a fatal 4-way elimination match, first round to get there. And then, yeah, he's done incredibly well as Caprice Coleman. But Dean Ambrose is a man to be reckoned with. He's a guy who has not lost a match in this universe mode in months and months and months. I think the last match he lost was against Luke Harper, and that was the first. That was before the first pay-per-view. That was. Because after the first pay-per-view, we saw Luke Harper and Eric Rowan and Bray Wyatt all disappear from this roster across to the WWE current day roster. So Dean Ambrose defended his championship twice that weekend as well. Defended it against Bray Wyatt and then defended it again the next night against Biff Busick, the debuting Biff Busick at that point in time. Great suplex there by Caprice Coleman. And he goes for a springboard splash and catches Dean Ambrose. Brings Ambrose back up to his feet and pulls him straight into that neck breaker. And Coleman has a great opportunity here. He's looking like to be in great form. Could we see a new Combat Zone Wrestling Heavyweight Champion? No, Dean Ambrose kicks out after the 2. But Coleman takes Ambrose up. Drops him back first onto the knees and... No way! 1, 2, and 3! We have got a new Combat Zone Wrestling Heavyweight Champion. And I must admit, I was not expecting this. I really was not. Dean Ambrose has defended this belt against Biff Busick, Bray Wyatt, Rhino, Ricochet. And he loses it here in a one-on-one match to Caprice Coleman. Caprice Coleman has done fantastically well. He's earned it in this competition to get this opportunity here this evening. And our long-term champion, Dean Ambrose, is defeated here. And we have a brand new Combat Zone Wrestling Heavyweight Champion. And here comes ACH to help celebrate with his partner from CNC Wrestle Factory. And what an amazing main event here we've had this evening. And I hope you guys have kept on to see it all happen. Because I know this match wasn't originally advertised at the beginning. But yeah, just how on earth? Oh, God. What a shocking end. Well, guys, that is the end of this episode of Combat Zone Wrestling Hardcore Television. I hope you've all enjoyed it. There's been some fantastic twists and turns, and we have a brand new World Heavyweight Champion here in Combat Zone Wrestling in the shape of Caprice Coleman. I've been Shabby Gamer. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.